Often what we find in couple problems is that communication has been one of the most overriding problems. Couples just don't feel as if they're communicating well. They don't feel listened to, they don't feel as if they can talk to each other, and it feels as if they're just stumbling over each other. They're making large assumptions or great expectations about what's going to be said and what cannot be said in the relationship. One of the things that we do is we work to try and find out what's going on behind the communication, what's going on behind what's being said, to find out what's needed individually, to find out what's needed in the relationship. Okay, so in this session we're going to talk about communication styles, and what we want to do is see if we can create a style of communication here that really got to what it was that both of you were wanting out of this relationship. And one of the ways that we do this is we try and focus not on a kind of a blaming or judgmental style of communication, but really on working out what it is that you individually both want out of this relationship, and perhaps what you can put into this relationship as well. So using a lot of I words like I feel as if I want, I think that I want the relationship to go in this kind of direction, I think we could do this, or I feel as if I'm not getting out of this relationship. So let's start with that. Tom, do you want to start?
Okay. I feel that you don't listen to me. I feel that you really have to listen to me, because I don't think you're ever listening to anything I say, really.
Tom, can I just interrupt there and say, I wonder if that might be put in a different sort of way. For example, I feel as if I really want to be listened to here, so you're really owning what's happening here rather than pushing it out and projecting it out onto Sinead.
Okay. Okay, well, I want to be listened to. I feel stuck. I feel buried. I love, I love what we have had and lived through and made and kept. But I can't see any way out from where I am now.
I can hear you struggling with that, Tom. So yeah, it's really good. Sinead, what are you hearing here?
Well, it's really difficult to listen to, actually, and I feel quite upset about it. You know. And it just reminds me of the way it used to be in my own family when I was growing up.
Can you say a bit more about that?
Well, my mum and dad were very traditional, you know, very old-fashioned, and we didn't really.
How did that kind of play out in the way that they communicated to each other?
Well, they didn't.
They didn't? Right, wow.
I mean, they just didn't really talk, you know.
Yeah.
Life went on, we did everything.
Yeah.
There was no communication on an emotional level at all.
Sounds as if there wasn't any kind of spontaneity.
Oh
there.
God, no.
Right.
No. It was all ordered. It was all. We knew our place. We knew what we were to do. I mean, it wasn't horrible. You know, it was just. It was just very straight.
Dry.
Yeah. Dry and straight. And hearing Tom say those things sort of reminds me of.
It's all coming back.
Of all of that, really.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, just.
Sinead, who do you think you were more like from your upbringing, mum or dad?
Oh, my dad.
Your dad?
Definitely.
In what way?
Well, Dad was very. He he's a nice man, you know, but he never talked about how he was feeling ever. And I know that there were times when things got bad, you know, like in all families, but he would never ever talk about it, and he'd just prefer to leave the room, which is a bit like what I do.
Leave the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when I know that there's a conflict coming up, something's about to happen, I'll just...
Distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like for you, Tom, growing up? What do you think that you got from your parents? Listening to what Sinead was saying about...
Well, I got a lot of love. I mean, it was great. It was fine. It was nothing to report, really, just boring old growing up. I mean,
Boring?
Well, yeah, boring
dull,
as in...
kind of
no, boring as in
unexciting?
nothing ever went wrong. You know, I've always said that I could never be a stand-up comedian or anything because I've got nothing to go on because nothing went wrong. Nothing.
So there was no pain there?
No, it's just really...
But what you said was
boring.
Really boring.
Well, no, it was fine
Yeah.
growing up, but it's sitting here however many years later talking about it, it's really... There's nothing to talk about.
Okay. So it sounds as if for both of you there's a sense of, I'm sitting here thinking, where's the passion in the upbringing and where's the passion in the relationship now?
Yeah.
It's left the building, I
left
think,
the building.
really. I'm not sure if there's... No, it was there.
Yeah.
It was there,
Yeah?
definitely.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Passion.
14 years later.
Like passion, good sex, that sort
Yeah.
of stuff, yeah? And now it's just...
You know, well now, sex doesn't really happen now.
Yeah?
Very rarely. Does it?
No.
No.
You want that passion.
Yeah. I think
Tom?
everyone does.
Yeah, we've had kids for so long now and you things change so slowly
Yeah.
that 14 years later you kind of look back and you think, God, we've lost this, we've lost this, we've lost this. We've become mum and dad,
Okay.
and I don't know how to get that back.
You're mum and dad, but you're still a couple here.
Yeah.
And it's like you got enrolled into something here that's shrunk you a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
it's taken bits of us away and replaced
Yeah.
them with just routine and...
can I ask you to do something? Just, you spend a lot of time looking at me. Look at each other. Just briefly look at each other. You both want the same thing here, don't you? Yeah. And it's time to really start coming out of hiding, because it sounds as if you've hid each other, you've hid yourselves here. Come out of hiding and really communicate that that's what you want. Because it feels so important. Let's communicate that and let's get the juice back into the relationship.